Revenge films.
I'm Lisa, 24 years old. I work as an office clerk at the company my father runs. I got engaged recently with Harlan, who's 3 years older than me. He has a kind, calm demeanor, and he always prioritizes my needs. We've been together for 3 years, and we never argued, so people around us said we were an ideal couple. Harlan started up a consulting company and was earning more than enough, which made my friends jealous. After the engagement, we started living together in a new, comfortable apartment. One day I forgot my wallet at home, and he brought it to my office. Then Jasmine, my subordinate and a clerk, walked up to us where we were talking. Jasmine has a feminine appearance and is cutesy. Female employees knew her two sides because she was a completely different person when she was with men than when she was with women. She cut our conversation and introduced herself. "Hi, are you Lisa's fiance? Nice to meet you." She really knows how to present herself nicely to men.
Hi, I'm Harlan. Nice to meet you too.
After he left, she asked me about him. "What kind of work does he do? How much does he make?" She had the nerve to ask all of those things. I didn't answer seriously, but she flashed a meaningful smile for a moment. After a while, Harlan and I got busy with wedding planning, but when we were planning, I noticed he was trying to cut costs here and there over my wishes. We talked about how it would be a once-in-a-lifetime thing and that we should fulfill our wishes, but as soon as we started actually planning, he was obviously trying to save money, which was odd. I expressed my frustration to him, and we argued more and more. Then he started coming home late and avoiding me. He prioritized his work over wedding planning, and it wasn't making any progress. I suggested to him we talk it out, but he was reluctant even to talk to me and said instead,
We don't agree on things anymore. Let's postpone the wedding.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't figure out what had changed him so suddenly. I was disappointed and depressed. I often sighed deeply at work. Jasmine saw me like this and talked to me. "Are you all right, Lisa?" So I vented just a little. Then she said, "If it's not going well, you shouldn't rush into marriage." She had a point, and I decided to agree on postponing our marriage as Harlan suggested. I told my parents about it, and they said I needed to find out first what caused the sudden change in him. So I confronted him again. That night, Harlan came home late again, and I asked, "I've seen that you've changed lately. Is it something I did or said?" Then he looked seriously and said,
Yeah, we should talk. I have something to tell you. Let's talk this weekend.
The time leading up to the weekend was long and hard for me. I told my parents about it, and they said they would be coming over. On the morning of our meeting day, while my parents were on their way, Harlan was sitting on the sofa quietly. I wanted to talk with him alone first, so I didn't tell him about my parents coming. I broke the silence and asked him, "What do you want to tell me?" At that moment, the doorbell rang. I opened the door expecting my parents, but it was Jasmine at the doorstep. I said, "How do you know where I live? What are you doing here?" And Harlan filled me in.
I asked her to be here.
I couldn't believe what I just heard. I was at a loss for words and just stood there, and Jasmine said, "I'm pregnant with his child, so you have to cancel the wedding." "What are you talking about?" And now Harlan said,
I've been seeing Jasmine.
"Huh?" I screamed without intention. Then my parents opened the door and came in.
We heard that.
And my dad glared at Harlan. My parents told Harlan to tell us everything honestly. He was embarrassed and all sweaty, while Jasmine looked triumphant sitting next to him and started talking. According to them, Jasmine saw Harlan coincidentally after they met at my office. She forgot her wallet at home, and Harlan took her home that day. Soon after, she asked him for dinner as a thank you. That's how they started, and they continued seeing each other. I knew immediately Jasmine planned all of this to steal my fiance from the very beginning. Coincidence? What a cliche. But even so, Harlan fell for her plan too easily, and I didn't feel like defending him at all. So I asked them for compensation. Then Jasmine boldly said, "Harlan will pay compensation for both of us, so please don't blame him." So she stole someone else's fiance and tried to get away from it without using a penny. This cannot be over, but my dad had a better idea.
I'd ask you to pay back the money I lent you when you started up your business for $1 million.
Harlan looked shocked. When he started up his business, we were dating with the intention of getting married, and Dad helped him. Harlan was paying him back in installments, but if we didn't get married, he had no reason to keep lending him the money, so he demanded it back in one lump sum. Hearing that, Jasmine said, "You never told me about that. You have that much debt?" And panicked, so I said to her, "Thanks for taking over the bastard with the price tag of $1 million. Now she stepped into reality.
It's impossible to return $1 million all at once. My business will go bankrupt.
Dad made it clear to him.
I don't have the money to lend to a man who's a cheater and pregnant with his lover.
My mom said, "I am very disappointed in you. I won't forgive you forever for betraying my daughter." Jasmine now said, "I can't be with a man with $1 million in debt. It was a lie that I was pregnant. I can't marry him. I'm returning him to Lisa." "No, I don't need a man like this. You can have him." Then Harlan said,
Lisa, let's get married as we planned. You can have the wedding any way you like. So how about we stay as we were regarding that money?
That's convenient for him, isn't it? I told him firmly about breaking off the engagement and started panicking. Later, he apologized to me many times, but I couldn't forgive him nor forget about it, and I demanded compensation, as I said. Dad demanded repayment through an attorney, and Harlan used the company's capital and borrowed more from the consumer financing company. Even that wasn't enough, and he had to turn to a loan shark. When he finally paid it off, he disappeared at the same time. His parents were looking for him now. About Jasmine, it turned out to be she was actually pregnant after all, but she chose to abort the child on her own. And she asked her boss for a raise, but the president, who's my dad, transferred her to a rural, cold location instead. I heard she begged him not to transfer. I was depressed for a while after everything happened, but I met someone new through a get-together among my friends. I'm only in my early 20s. I'm planning to go out with lots of men to hone my observation skills so that I'll meet a better person than Harlan one day.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.